Okay, so if we could call to order this meeting of the Personnel Subcommittee of the Lowell School Committee, I'd ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Chairperson Martin?
Here.
Ms. Doherty? Here. Mr. Hoey?
Here.
3 present.
Thank you. We do only have one topic for this evening's discussion. It is a discussion of the posting and hiring process for the new Director of Human Resources for the Lowell Public Schools. The Superintendent, Durkin, has provided us with some information. If you'd like to walk us through that, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. So this is, as Ms. Martin stated, relative to a motion that was put forth by Ms. Martin on July 31st during the school committee meeting, special school committee meeting, relative to looking at the review of the current human resource position and to look at alternative approaches. So at the last meeting, I did articulate to the committee that on October 1st, our acting Human Resource Director, Susan Mulligan, has announced her retirement as of October 1st. So we have immediately, Susan Mulligan, I directed her to contact NASDAQ to request names of candidates who could potentially immediately fill the interim HR director position for the Lowell School Department, through June 30th. You can see the attached information that came from NASDAQ relative to that. That's in your packet. What they will do is they are going to send out email blasts to superintendents and retired folks, and hopefully we'll get some names very shortly. Additionally, I'm trying to anticipate that if we don't get names, we also have to plan for October 1st. So myself, Assistant Superintendent Desmond, and Acting Assistant Superintendent Payne also met with Susan Mulligan and her Assistant Director, April Rourke, to discuss potential staffing options should something not fall through. And we talked about potentially bumping up the Assistant Director into the Acting Director role. After October 1st, the bulk of the hiring is done, so, and we talked to her about her thoughts around that. Also thinking about moving the current executive assistant who has been in the role of HR for many, many years and is a wealth of knowledge to be in the assistant role for the interim. Just this, we're talking until June 30th. This would afford us some time to consider the results of the human resource audit so that we could really draft a carefully drafted plan. So additionally, if we were to consider something of that nature, and that would be only if we weren't able to fill the position with someone that could serve as an interim for us through June 30th, that we would potentially need an additional clerk to assist in this and consider some additional compensation for the people moving forward in these roles. So we've also begun some staffing thanks to the assistants, and have done some research on job postings throughout the state and further beyond around what different schools have for job titles. For example, Worcester has a Chief Human Resource Officer. That position was posted at around the 125 range. That was a year ago. Brockton has an Executive Director of Human Resources, and last year that position was posted at 145. We have a number of others that show as assistant superintendents. They're not from around the immediate area, but so we'd like to be able to have some time to really review all of those documents and then draft something that really makes sense for Lowell. So when I say that, the reason you don't have something in front of you is additionally, my colleagues to my left, your right, we met yesterday with Susan Mulligan and April Rourke and the president of the Human Resources, Inc., who are going to be conducting our comprehensive audit. So we made a decision at that time to commence the audit on August 21st. That we're going to launch it during our summer leadership with our principals, so that our principals understand the purpose of the audit, the intent of it, that they may be asked to respond to some survey questions, and the importance of responding to those in a timely fashion. We also discussed that the audit would commence immediately after that, and then be presented to the committee by November 15th, the results of that audit. So we're looking, they were very confident that they could have the audit completed by the end of October, but we wanted to make sure that we afforded ourselves some time to review their findings and then be able to present to you in a coherent manner. So, like I said, some of my recommendations at this point would be to consider, NASDAQ hopefully coming through for us for one or two positions to interview in the next couple of weeks, bringing that person on before October 1st so that they could, assimilate into the role. And if not, then, consider that second option. So we really feel that the job description needs to wait until we receive the results of the HR audit, because, just in those discussions alone, we were talking about how to automate, application processes and to link that to our Immunis system. So I think that would be important to detail in, that someone needs to have that skill set or be able to get training in that. And then also, I think it's really important to look at what we have as far as recruiting strategies, and really detail, very specific in that posting for that. So I present that to you as, a progress update tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for that update. I guess my question is really what's been happening, because we had discussions months and months ago, about this position. I know back in the winter, when we first asked Ms. Mulligan to stay on in the role longer, I thought we talked about doing a search, and was there nothing in terms of postings? Was nothing done, or this is all that's been done?
To my knowledge, this is what I have at this point. I don't have any knowledge of anything having been posted in the past. I did speak to Ms. Mulligan maybe the second or third day in the acting position role, and asked her, the status of the resource audit and the posting of the position. At that time, she said that she would reach out to NASDAQ and then, post the position, but I wanted to be able to have conversations with you about that, because at this time of the year, it's really challenging to post a position and get someone, that, there may be an opportunity that somebody's highly qualified and just moved into the area, but I really think that the audit gives us an opportunity to learn about what we need in that candidate. So I can't speak to the details, but I can investigate that further for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just got a small comment. I believe I wish she was here, the hiring of Miss Turner. I believe she's pretty capable when it comes to HR. And personally, I believe we just need one secretary. To me wouldn't be enough. I think that office needs 2 secretaries. I think most of the work is done by the secretaries, believe it or not. They do a lot of work. And sometimes I just feel like I don't even know why I'm sitting here, to be honest with you, Personnel Subcommittee on this issue, because to me, it's your job to hire that person. I know maybe you need our help, because we've had a lot of problems with HR in the past, in my opinion, just my opinion. Over the years, it's a very problem place. So I'm glad we're getting together, but at the same time, I'm not sure if we're gonna change. I think this should be like a policy issue, meaning if we're gonna change the way we hire an HR or hire any person, if the superintendent, that's your job, right, to hire somebody, especially this job. I think it should be your job to hire. I think by hiring this new lady, Miss Turner, I had another week to look into her. I think she could run it the way it is right now. I think with Miss Rourke and 2 secretaries, not 1, I think we'd get through this year. And that's just my opinion. That's all. Thank you.
I understand your thought process of wanting to let this audit kind of go through the process so that we have that information. I mean, honestly, that was, certainly part of the impetus behind the motion to begin with, was to really give us an opportunity to get some external expertise to really look at our processes, as well as look at our compliance. I mean, recognizing that that's a huge part of the audit as well, ensuring that we've been in compliance with all of the state laws and the local policies. And I very strongly support the idea of taking the time now to kind of put in the appropriate research and consideration so that we can really build this office so that it can do a job that it was never built to do before. I think we all recognize that in terms of our diversity hiring initiative, we see the HR director role as the place where that really needs to happen. And that it's never been built to do that before, admittedly, but needs to be built to do that now. So I do think that the audit is going to give us some really valuable information about our own internal structures, as well as a better sense of the landscape that we're kind of functioning in. So I definitely approve of that. I would only put forth as a recommendation, because I agree with you, I don't think now is a great time to be looking to NASDAQ to get somebody. I mean, that's just the reality. But I do know that there could be opportunities for some of the HR consulting firms that either this one or maybe some others that could offer some temporary support over the course of the next, really 3 months. I mean, I wouldn't want to see us let this linger until June. If we're looking to get our report in November, I'm expecting that to be a very well-crafted report that will give us very specific marching orders about how to get where we want to go, that would allow us to implement it quickly, so that we could look at a January timeframe to get a posting out. I mean, obviously nothing good happens in December either, so, but that would be kind of the timeframe I'd have in mind. I'm sorry, go right ahead.
So that is actually the time frame that I spoke to Ms. Mulligan about, that I said, if you're speaking, we already sent the, the original posting out, but we pulled it back. And then we sent them the interim position. So that would be our goal, is to get something out like December, January for starting July 1. So that, are you thinking sooner? It's just, I wonder about, people's commitment to a position in a district. So, but I would like to get it out very early so that we've got some time to do, the recruiting and get some really great candidates.
No, but I understand that. I think one of the things that I'm looking to get in terms of information is how married do we need to be to someone coming from a school background? Is that necessary? You'll have a sense of that I don't. So, as we're looking at the timing of this, school year positions go on a pretty traditional calendar. But if we're just recruiting for an HR director with an incredibly strong recruiting background and, perhaps coming from a similar type of industry, we could be able to put a posting out in January and have someone in March. But that will depend on what that's further down the line. So, but I appreciate the idea of being able to really put the time in now so that in the long term, we have the right person in the position, we have the right supports in place for them to be successful, and that we do get a real handle on exactly where we're at in terms of our record keeping and adherence to all the necessary laws and policies. Thank you. Any other questions, concerns? Go right ahead.
Yeah, just one more. I like to call you Madam Superintendent, if you don't mind. I don't like that acting word, okay? So I just want to give you my opinion again. We had an HR director not too long ago, and they hired about 219 new teachers and paraprofessionals, and I thought she was doing a marvelous job. And I know there's a few people that aren't working in this system anymore that definitely was undermining this young lady. But she's no longer doing the job either. And I think it's an issue we have to find out how to fix that. Meaning, just kind of keeping our nose out of that business. It's tough to do. You have a lot of people begging you for a job. It happens to a lot of people. It happens to me, and I say, I can't even get my cousin a job. I think it's hard to do. It's a very hard job, and I don't know how. That's the issue I think we have to fix, because really, a lot of I don't want to use the word hate, but a lot of the problems in the past year to me is people aren't happy with who the ex-superintendent was hiring. And I believe that's what we have to focus on, to get our hands out of the pie, let's say, and let the person do the job. Now, I'm going to be talking a lot in the next few months about hostile environments. And I think Ann Sheehy, I'll even say her name, I thought she was in one. Those two people aren't employed here no more that I thought were bothering her. I thought the superintendent was in a real bad spot, and I thought Mr. Frisch was in a bad spot. We just need to bury all the old issues and the grudges and move forward. To me, this is one of the top 3 issues we have to fix. I believe all of you, and especially a team of 4 or 5 people, can definitely come up with better solutions than I can. But I'm hoping this one issue is fixed. I even tried to make the Ms. Sheehy assistant superintendent at that time, because I think that's what that job calls for, to me. Some people don't believe that. I believe it's that hard of a job. I believe all of you have a pretty difficult job. But HR, when you have the power over 2,700 jobs, you got a lot of people bothering you. So thank you very much.
Any other questions, concerns? So I'd entertain a motion to instruct the superintendent to move forward with her plan to institute the audit, put out the position for hopefully an interim, and in the absence of that, she can move forward with Plan B. So that's seconded by, so that's a first by Ms. Doherty, seconded by Mr. Hoey. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. That's kind of a record. There you go. We'll adjourn this meeting at 10:07. And the regular meeting is scheduled for 7:15, so you'll be listening to the 1812 overture for about 20 minutes, all those people at home. Motion to adjourn by Ms. Doherty, seconded by Mr. Hoey. All those in favor say aye.